You know, yesterday the Otrs did their triple threat, and one of the things they did was, one of the things they talked about was, is the shield, basically they asked was, is the shield good enough? And another question they asked was, does TNA never learn? Well, let me talk about TNA for a second, to start that on a response. I don't know what it is with TNA. I mean, I know they want to do their best, but I think what it is they're depending too much on the name value of certain people than they are on who they should be, instead of on who and what they should be focusing on. It's mainly the name value. Like, I'm sure if they were to say, Hulk, we've enjoyed your services and all that, but we need to move on, thank you for everything, just let him go. I'm sure he wouldn't mind. The guy's got a lot of money, he's got a lot of stuff going on for him, he doesn't probably need to be with TNA. But the only reason they keep him is the name value. That's what it is. The same with Sting. There's numerous opportunities year after year after year for Sting to be let go and let him at least do one match or so in the WWE, get inducted into WWE Hall of Fame and be done. But they don't because name recognition. Same with Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle, eventually his contract's going to come up. He might be thinking of going back to WWE. But the reason they keep offering him contract after contract, extension after extension, is name value. That's why TNA is constantly always depending on those, sometimes in the 50s and 60s, to be the heroes. The only time they ever depend on those that are younger, like the Stock, like the AJs and the Daniels and the Kazarians and the formerly Beer Money, but the Rudes and the Storms and the Aries and the Youngs. The reason they depend on them is when they have to do what they did in lockdown. They have to create a team that's basically, hey, here's Team TNA, consisting mostly of TNA originals, proving that they're still better than those that get signed who've already participated in the major leagues, if you know what I mean. Basically prove themselves superior to their invaders or to their usurpers, if you will. That is basically the only time that sometimes they depend on them. Now they got something going on with AJ, and obviously it's sort of a twist. It's sort of a twist, if you will, on the whole Sting Crow situation. But whatever they're doing with AJ, it's coming up with, it's going to be something big. I mean, either AJ is going to get the world championship around his waist, which obviously seems to be the plan, or we're going to see the reuniting of Fortune. You know what I mean? But again, we really don't know. It's like you don't know what side he's coming from. My personal opinion, and I don't know if TNA is going to do this, my personal opinion is AJ is going to come out flat out and say exactly why he's acting this way. He's probably going to come out and say, look, you guys just don't trust me. He doesn't want to say anything. He doesn't want to say why he's acting this way. And I've got a feeling the reason it's going to be is because of that stupid stipulation. If that stipulation that, is on him that prevents him from getting a shot at the World Championship. That's one of the main reasons. Another reason is, hey, perhaps he's sick and tired of those like Hogan, Bully Ray, and Kurt always coming in and taking the spotlight from the TNA originals. That's probably one of the things that'll come out of this. Probably one of the two things. But, I understand where he's coming from, where Schleck is coming from, when he says TNA never learns. See, TNA constantly, almost year after year, always has a faction invading and invading and invading. Or a faction being formed within and trying to take over. Trying to usurp control away. We've had it with the Main Event Mafia. We had it with, heck, we had it with Sports Entertainment Extreme. We had it with the Main Event Mafia. We had it with Immortal. And now we have it with Aces and Eights. And it's like, you know, what's the deal? You know, what's it going to take, obviously, for TNA to learn? This has been done to death. You need to work on the original stuff. No one really knows. The thing is, the reason TNA never learns, and they always depend on these situations, and always now depend on things like Hogan possibly taking on Bully Ray at Bound for Glory, and stuff like that. Sting, it's called name recognition. Again, it's called name recognition, and the fact that their ratings are 1 point whatever, not where they should be, it's because they're constantly just repeating what has been done before. Pretty much a lot of the smart marks out there, know exactly what the possible outcome is going to be. But there are still those that support TNA and they go watch TNA because yes, it's a different alternative. It's different. It's more mature. It's got a more mature theme, a darker theme. I get that. That's why people still support it. But the thing is, it's just a lot of the smart marks, even those that go and support TNA and watch it and go to live events, the reason everybody is saying things like TNA never learns, the Aces and Eights are not that good, this and that, is because they know exactly what's going to happen. They have the idea of possibly what's going to happen, so that's why they don't take TNA seriously that much, and that's why a lot of people like Schleg Daddy's Eyes, they never learn. Because pretty much everybody knows exactly what they're going to do. Or at least has an idea of it. I mean, it's like I said 2 weeks ago. When I saw the YouTube clip of TNA and Bully Ray saying he's going to kill Hulkamania, pretty much you knew exactly what one of the main reasons Aces and Eights was created. Not to cause anarchy in TNA and try to take over. No, it was created because they want to do a Hulkamania thing. They want to do what has been done in the past, which pretty much proves exactly what we know the outcome is going to be. You get what I'm saying? I mean, I totally get where Jeff's coming from with that, so anyway, we'll just have to pray and hope they do learn. They do learn. As far as the question of, is the Shield good enough? Yeah, the Shield's great right now. I mean, they are basically, the reason people look at the Shield, even though they're 3 members, and say, hey, they're better than Aces and Eights, they're better than Scum, is because literally they are. I mean, these guys come in and do it, say they're going to do something, and they do it. They come in, they say they're going to do something, they do it. And unlike Aces and Eights, and unlike Scum, they're undefeated on television. Yeah, live events sometimes count if it's important, but they don't most of the time. On television, when it comes off on television, they're undefeated. As a unit. Individually, no. As a unit, yes. They're undefeated. And when you got guys like The Undertaker and John Cena, you know, and possibly Triple H now, wanting to work with these guys, it just shows how much confidence, how much respect these guys have gained for what they have done, and also how much backing these guys got, and basically by saying that, hey, these guys are the future. But basically by saying these guys are the future. Now, are they good enough? Yes. But I get where the OTRS is coming from. How long are they going to last as a unit? Are you going to keep pushing them as a unit mainly as like a tag team Freebird-like thing? We don't know. I mean, right now it looks like the tag titles are in sight. But I do agree. Well, I totally agree. Something needs to be done that's going to establish them as a main event unit. But they've already been established as a main event unit. But I also understand what they're saying, that they probably need a leader, some kind of a veteran. But I don't know if WWE wants to do that, because when you think about it, whoever came up with the Shield in the first place is probably thinking, well, we could give them a veteran as sort of like the brains behind the brawn, but then that would be taken away from who the Shield is, and that would mainly be the focus. It's like with Nexus. When the new Nexus was made, and CM Punk became the leader, who did the main focus go on? CM Punk. And eventually, Nexus went to the wayside and ceased to exist. The point is, I don't think they want to make that mistake with the Shield. I think, if anything, if they plan to disband the Shield, they want it to implode from within. I think that's the whole plan. And if The Undertaker is going to be involved down the line again, probably by SummerSlam, if not sooner, which obviously seems to be the plan according to numerous sources, then so be it. But they got something, but I'm pretty sure they've got something planned, hopefully, to disband the group. It's got to be something that's either going to be an implosion from within, or it's going to be some kind of match to where if they lose, they're done. They're done as a unit, they got to disband. And I feel that's going to happen, but it may not happen for quite some time. Because this group is unique. It's only 3 individuals. They've basically done exactly what they need to do, said they were going to do. They've run roughshod over the competition, or whoever's been put in front of them. They're undefeated as a unit when it comes off television, the way it comes across on television. But again, are they good enough? Yes. Should they be going after other championships besides the tag titles? Yes. I can understand starting them off with the tag titles possibly, and that's fine. But you do need to get one of them with a singles championship. And my best estimation is you got to give it to Dean Ambrose. Reigns and Rollins as a tag team is great, but to me, you got to give it to You got to give Ambrose possibly a singles title to help establish who they are. And the best idea to me is give him either the Intercontinental or U.S. title. That way, it gives a little bit more importance to those titles, and you give maybe, let's say, the major guys an opportunity to try to get those belts back. You know what I mean? Guys like Orton, possibly, or guys like Sheamus, or whoever. Give them an opportunity to try to get those belts back. So, to answer the question though, TRS, does TNA never learn? Well, I gave you my answer there. And is the Shield good enough? Well, you just heard what I had to say there. So that's my response to you guys. Give me your response down below, ladies and gentlemen. OTRS, I'd like to hear from you guys. And peace out. God bless. I'm out.